Do you moisturize your hair still?
Yes, I do. But I just washed it yesterday.
Okay.
How often should I be washing it now?
Uh, no, you can do once in 3 weeks, once in 2 weeks. Should be fine.
Okay, and should it still be the braid and band method? I don't know what that's called.
Yeah,
It should still be.
yeah.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining today's live section. My name is Oluwakemi, and this is Braids by Camelis. On this channel, we talk about all things hair care, hair routines, and mostly natural hair. Today, we are having a vlog for Microlocs. Okay, so for this client, I'll be doing a 3-point rotation, and I will be showing you what I'm doing as we continue into this live section. Thank you to everyone who had joined us today, and I have to say a very big thank you for the success of the last live section on Saturday. It was a massive success. Thank you everyone for the love and the support. So if you're here today and you're here to join the family, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so that you know when I come live with tutorials. Also, I would like to encourage us that let's click on the like button so that we have more people locate this live section today. All right, let's get started. So I started this locks about, how long has the locks been now?
A year and a half.
Yeah, so about 18 months ago, and it's thriving so well. Let me mute to ask a few questions. Hi, NZL, hello. Hi, Wanye, thank you for the sub. And thank you for letting me know you love the stream. I also love to come here and show you guys things. Yesterday was Monday. We're not on live because what I did was not related to natural hair, and I don't want to mix it all up, so I couldn't come live. But I'm super happy today to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and for the support. Hi, Easy and Tessy. What am I doing? Okay, thank you for that question. So this is Microlocs. She has Microlocs. Is a style we start with our natural hair, and right now we are doing a retie for the new growth. So this is a maintenance routine. Depending on your size of locks and how your hair grows, you have to do this maybe once in 2 months or thereabout. But what we are doing is actually Microlocs. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you so much. Hi, Trisina. Hello. Thank you for joining me today live. How are you doing? How's been your day? So, as our tradition is, to everyone who is just joining us, thank you for joining the family. My name is Oluwakemi, and I'm streaming from Canada. If you don't mind, you can drop in the comment section where you're watching from. And if you're yet to click on the like button, do so. It will help have more people join this live section, and kindly subscribe to join the family. We have lots of videos coming your way shortly. While I was waiting for my client today, I lost track of time because I was editing a video that I'll be uploading on Saturday to show you guys how to start sister locks from scratch. I think on yesterday or 2 days ago, I uploaded a video tutorial showing you how to start Microlocs. So this is what she has, Microlocs. I showed how to start from the grid to every detail you need to know. You can watch that video. It's quite enlightening. Okay. Hi, Joseph. Thank you for joining us today. And this hair has been maintained super well, that I really don't have to clean up each lock using my crochet pin. So let me introduce you to the tools I'm using today. I have the 0.5 mm crochet pin. I use that to clean up locks. Like this one has some frizz, so I would clean it up using this and make it tight, clean, and crisp. And of course, I'm using my crochet latch hook. I mentioned earlier that this comes in different sizes. You need to use the right size for the locks, and I determine this based on your lock size, because if you're not using the right size, you'll feel strain. It will be strenuous pulling through. Hi, Atina. Thank you for joining us today. How was your day? Hope you're good. It's nice to have you here. And I7, thank you for the emoji. Hope you're good. I'm smiling right back at you. Now, a few of the locks are kind of joined together. This happens after a wash, and I'll just have to separate them. I prefer to separate them this way, just by pulling, as against using a scissors. I would only recommend using a scissors if the locks has been meshed together for a very long time. Once you spray the hydration mist, it helps to separate the locks easily. You can see the likes coming in. Thank you everyone for the thumbs up. Let's start the discussion today by talking about Microlocs. If you have any question, please feel free to drop a question, a comment, and I would respond immediately I see it. So people often ask that, what is Microlocs? I would like to say that Microlocs are locks started with smaller sizes in comparison to traditional locks. With Microlocs, you can start with a few techniques, like you could start as a twist, you could start with a braiding method, and sometimes you can start it with an interlocking method. Okay. For your locks to qualify as Microlocs, they have to be above 200 locks. So 200 to 400 is good range for Microlocs. And that begs the question that, what is sister locks? Sister locks are used, are locks that There are also small locks, tiny locks. They are done using the Sister Lock trademark pattern and grid, and they could be as small as getting you 500 plus locks. I'm not sure, but I think when we started our locks, we had 400 and something locks. Yeah. I'm gonna zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing more clearly. Just a minute. I think this is better. As mentioned earlier, I'm using the 4-point rotation for this maintenance. Sorry, I mean the 3-point rotations. And one thing you want to avoid is merging the locks together. So, sharp eyes. I felt a bump on that side, so I'll have to correct it before continuing. One thing with locks is that if you see any issue, it's best you correct them before it matures with that issue, because once it matures and it's more difficult to make any repair to the locks. So if you have locks and you notice anything that you don't like with your locks, it's best to speak with your loctician immediately during your next appointment and let them do something about it. If your hair happens to lock with that issue, it might be too late to make any correction. And I'm cleaning this place up with my tool because I see a lot of flyaways there. For everyone who's just joining, you're welcome to today's live section. My name is Camille's, and today we are doing Microlocs Retie. Feel free to click on the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting tutorials on hair care. So you see I'm trying my best to make sure that I'm not merging any strand that does not belong to this lock with it. So you need to be careful and make sure you're not joining your locks together. Let's do a poll and ask about how you retire your locks if you have locks. Okay, the poll is open. If you want to answer the question, you can join me to know the people watching my live section today. If you have locks, please answer the question, and if not, let me know. It will help me bring more tailored content that will be useful for everyone. And welcome to today's live section. If you've not already clicked on the like button, please do so. And my name is Kemi. On this channel, I bring to you all things regarding your hair care for natural hair, from braiding to twisting and to locks. Hi Gloria, thank you for joining. And hi Joe, you don't have locks right now. That's good to know. Thank you for sharing that information and for joining to this live section. So in a few minutes, I'll be doing a close-up on the how to do your rotations for reties. Um, from the poll, we have 20 votes already. Once we have about 80 votes, I'll close the poll and we will talk about something else. But so far, people who do not have locks are more than people who have locks. And that makes sense. Yeah, not everybody is going to carry locks, but maybe some people are thinking of having locks down the line, or they are caring for other people's lock, like myself. So it's good to know. And I have Hi Latisha, how you doing? Hi Tanisha, hope you're good. I'm doing well and so happy to have you here today. Since we have a few people who have locks, thank you for the love. I see the emojis coming in. Let's talk about locks care before we move to another topic entirely. So one thing with locks is that if you have locks, to see your locks thrive and to be a source of inspiration to other people who are thinking of getting locks, one thing you need to prioritize is your care routine. Okay, so by this I mean that you need to build a routine around how you take care of your locks. Now don't get me wrong, we all know that having locks means freedom. That's true. However, you still need to care for the locks such that it is neat, it grows well, and it flourishes. This particular nail is bugging me. I might have to see what's happening here. It's just tough from here. So I need to file it out so that I can continue working seamlessly. And if you're wondering, yes, I carry a nail file everywhere I go. That's funny. So yeah, you need to build a routine for your locks. Hello Maria, how are you doing? I'm good, hope you're good too. Thank you for joining to this live section. It means a lot to me. So even though Microlocs give you a lot of freedom in caring for your hair, in the sense that you don't have to comb it out anymore, you don't have to use and buy lots of products. They thrive in their natural state very well. No more detangling or conditioning or deep poo and all that. You just have your locks. Nonetheless, they need to be taken care of. When you see a healthy lock, you see a lock that is washed as often as needed and cared for properly. Now, for your locks to be that inspiration locks for others, a few things you need to do. Number one is to prioritize your maintenance routine in the terms of the intervals between you having a retie for your new growth. I like to start with that because when you skip your reties, you're most likely to damage your locks. This is true because with new growth, you need to catch them and turn them into locks to prevent thinning out. I'll demonstrate with this locks I have here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Let me see, can you see this one? No, you can see this one. Okay, good. So let me demonstrate with this one. I know the pole is blocking it. I'll soon end the pole. See the new growth. Guys, my fingers can go through the new growth. Now tell me what happens if the growth is more than this and I'm washing. Just doing this motion is going to rip off some of the new growth. And when you're ripping them off, it's not like you're doing it intentionally. It's just because they are longer than the locks. They are long and they are attached to locks. Now, when you come for your retie, you will suddenly realize that your locks are thinning from the root. So if your loctician tells you with your size of locks, your routine should be 6 to 8 weeks, try as much as possible to follow that routine. So that's one thing, to have locks that thrive. Another thing is that even though locks give you freedom, it's not freedom to be dirty. Sorry for being blunt, but I've seen clients or people who have locks and they decide not to wash their locks for 4 months, 5 months or more. You need to wash your locks, okay? Clean scalp means healthy scalp. Look at our locks. I'm not scared to use my hands. I'm not putting on gloves. Just looking at it, you know that these are kept clean and healthy. One thing I advise people is that if you're going to go for a retie, try to wash your hair a day before, okay? It's good to have your reties done on clean and fresh scalp. All right. Now, to maintain your locks, a few things to do. For your wash routine, at the early stage of having your locks, you might not be able to wash as frequently as you want. But once your locks are matured, you can wash once in 2 weeks or once in 3 weeks, depending on your lifestyle. For wash days, you put your hair in braid and band and then you wash. At the beginning of your locks journey, you try to do away with conditioner, but down the line we'll be introducing that back to your hair once it is maturing. Yeah, so those are a few things you need to put in mind if you have locks or if you want to get locks or even if you'll be caring for people's locks. Those informations, people appreciate them a lot when you give it to them, right? So to sleep at night, you still have to wear your satin bonnet. You don't want your locks having frizz. And frizz are part of the lock journey, right? But if you can reduce it, that is good. Let's work for me. Okay, so there you have it. Right now we have 71 votes and 63% do not have locks, with 30. Okay, now it's 64 with no locks and 36 with locks. So to my lock queens and kings, hi, how is the journey so far? I hope you're enjoying it. You can drop what you love most about your locks journey so far in the comment section and we would have a discussion around that. And if the case is that you're having a bit of difficulty with your locks journey so far, you could also share that experience or ask a question and I'll be super happy to give you an answer to the best of my knowledge. Now let's end the poll. Thank you guys for participating. We have 80 votes in total, with 62% saying no, they don't have locks, and 38 saying yes, they do have locks. At this point, I would like to show you how to do your rotations. Thank you for the love. I see that. So if you liked what you're seeing so far, kindly click on the like button. If you're yet to subscribe, this is your time to do so. And thank you. I appreciate the support. So with this one, we're going to do a demonstration. I've explained this in other live sections, but I'll be happy to do that here again. One thing you need to watch out for is how the lock ended. See the way I could divide in this direction? It showed me that the last rotation was a downward pull, not a sideways, because it's not divided in that direction. Now that I figured that out, it means I need to go the opposite direction, which is sideways. So I'm starting from my 3 p.m. I want to do a 6 p.m. back to 3, then a 12, back to 3, 6, back to 3. I don't have enough room to complete a cycle, so I'll just go back to 6. The reason why I did that is because I love to end my rotations in the direction where I want the hair to lie. And for this, I obviously want it to lie down flat, which is why I'm ending my rotations in a downward direction. In some instances, I might not have enough growth to achieve that goal, and it's on those rare occasions that I end sideways. Okay, avoid ending total opposite direction. Pulling upward for your last rotation is going to be awkward in the sense that the hair will be standing like this. Even if it falls, it's going to kind of have a upward bend, which is something we want to avoid. If what I just explained makes sense, you can click on the like button and drop a comment. If you have any questions around that, I'll be super glad to explain further. And I'll show it to you once again once I come back to this middle part where you can see it clearly. Is the temperature okay for you, or should I turn on?
No, it's okay.
Are you sure? Okay. Now I'm starting from 6. I'm going to pull through 3, then 12, back to 6, to 3. I can't go up, so I'll have my last rotation in a downwards motion. Sorry. Okay, thank everyone for staying tuned. In the absence of any question, and we've concluded our first poll, I would like to start another poll just to get some opinions regarding the content on the channel. And this is because the first poll, more than about 64% do not have locks. In order to bring you tailored content that would make sense. Yeah, I'll create this next poll, and it's going to be around if you care about more locks tutorials or braiding tutorials or content tailored to how to be a loctician. Okay, yeah, so let's start that poll now and see how that goes. It will help judge my couple of next videos to post. Okay, starting the next one. I'll set the camera in a way that does not affect your view of what I'm doing. Yeah, I think this is good. And everyone, feel free to join in this next section. I already have a board. So 2 people have gone ahead to vote. Thank you guys. That is making sense. Yeah. And I especially appreciate this because it will help me wow, the votes are everywhere. Oh my god, this is interesting. I like this. Oh. So while we are talking about products, I'll just be talking randomly based on which part of the poll is leading. Right now, DIY, oh, braid tutorial is actually leading right now. So let's start with that. Nice one. So a little background about myself. In one of the last live sections we had, I had a question around how did I start to do this? So I would like to share that information with you guys, and that would help in answering the poll questions. So far we have 11 votes. If you are yet to vote, please drop your vote. So I started making hair at a very young age. My mom used to do this, so I just picked it up by helping her finish our client's hair and all that. And I must tell you that at that point it felt like punishment, but right now it's a blessing. So I started making hair as a teenager. Mostly what we do is braids and cornrows, and what we used to call Ghana weaving is now called fitting braids. Yeah, so that's what we do a lot of. But as hair industry evolves, because I enjoy doing this, I evolved with it. And when I started out as a career, I started with braids, but in about 4 years, I carved my niche to be largely locks. Okay, because here in Canada, a large number of people of color would wear their hair in locks because of the freedom it gives. Okay, so, and there aren't a lot of people who know how to do this, so I decided to try to be a force to reckon with in locks. Okay, having said that, this summer I was opportune to teach a few young minds how to braid, because another thing is that not a lot of people know how to braid anymore, like I mean the younger generation. So it would be good if you could impact that way. So since we have a lot of people who would like braid tutorials, now is a tie with lock tutorials. This is interesting. I love it. I would be posting some of the tutorial videos we used for the summer training, and I think that will be helpful. So that means I'll start posting both lock tutorial videos and braids videos. Thank you guys for this poll. It really helped me. And I see a few people asking for DIYs. I interestingly did one and posted it about 6 days ago. I made my hair myself using a kinky hair that cost me just $20 for 2 packs. So more of that to be coming your way, and I will share a few. I have a lock, or I have a oil I made for locks, and also air butter. I would share the recipe for that before the month runs out. I'm sure I'll do that. Okay, so this poll was helpful. Thank you everyone for joining in the poll. If you are new to the channel, please click on the like button and subscribe. We'd love to have you here with us. See, this finished in this direction, so I can't go that way. I need to go the other direction. Okay, at this point I will end the poll so that you can see the section I'm working on. Thank you. So we have more operate tutorials followed by lock tutorials and then DIYs. Great. I'll put that into consideration, guys. Thank you so much for helping out your girl. I would like to plead that let's get the chat section active. Ask your questions. Let's have discussions why we'll make this locks. Okay, thank you. Sometimes even for me, I have to carefully locate the last rotation, and I'll show you what happens if you decide to just do whatever you like and not make sure you retine properly. I'll show it to you right away. So this is how the last rotation ended. Imagine if I just go this way instead of going the other way, and I continue doing that over and over again. See what has happened. I've just succeeded in creating a hole. Can you see? The space will be there. And then she will need to repair locks. So we don't want to do that, which is why you have to make sure. Can you see? So we don't want to do that. I'll reverse what I've done now. So that's just the visual of what happens if you go the wrong direction, or if you lock your hair in the same direction more than once, which is why we have rotations to make sure everything works and looks properly. Okay, so if that demonstration made sense, you can click on the like button if you've not done that already. You can share this live session to people who might need it if you know anyone, and subscribe for more content regarding natural hair care. Hi, Lucy Dalva. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining today's live section. My name is Kimberly's, and on this channel, I bring to you all things regarding braids, um, locks, and caring for your natural hair. So, if you are new to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, and we'll be super happy to have you join us here. What we are doing right now is Microlocs Retie on a natural 4C hair. And this locks we established it about 18 months ago. Yeah, and this is how far we've come. It's maturing, and the interesting thing is that the grids are still super clean. So with frequent and regular maintenance, you can definitely maintain your grids and your overall lock health. We've been having quite a bit of chat since we started today. So if you have any question, feel free to ask, and I'll be super happy to answer and give an explanation. We'll start our third pull shortly. And we can center pattern outside.
Oh, today?
Mm-hmm.
Center, please.
Center, okay. Hi, Elizabeth. Odusonya. Hi, you're my sister. Thank you for joining the live section. How are you doing today? I'm super happy to have you here. And hello, Delange. Thank you for saying hi and for joining. You're welcome to Breeze by Camelise. My name is Camelise, and what I do here is to show all things natural hair, from starting your locks to maintaining them, and braids, twists, everything you can do to your natural hair. I have them shown here on live section. So if you want to learn one or two things, you can go to the live sections we have so far. I bring to you live sections every week. So please feel free to subscribe and join the family. I really appreciate that. And also you can drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be super glad to respond to them. Okay. All done. Hope you're good.
I'm good.
In your water.
Oh, no, I'm good, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, let me change the camera angle since we are coming to this side. crochet pin. So is the pin with you? No. Okay. All right. Yeah. Hi, Zonke. How are you doing today? Hope you're good. Hello, Marilyn. Thank you for joining us today on this live section. We are doing Microlocs Retie. I apologize, I'm not super chatty right now. We've had a long discussion earlier on, and I'm just trying to catch my breath and think of something else to talk about. So if you have a question you'd like me to address, please drop it in the comment section. It will help to keep the discussion going. And my name is Camelise. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe, like, and drop your comments. I'm super happy to have you in this community. And thank you so much for the support, guys. Sorry. I have to, let me mute first. Okay, thank you for that question, Mama Maziva. Thank you for asking. You said, is it painful? No, it's not. It's not a painful process if you do it carefully. So reties are not painful. You're just using the pin to catch the new growth. However, the part that might be a bit painful is if the locks are joining together for any reason. Trying to separate them might be painful, and that is when you see me use my hydration mist to add moisture. That helps to make it easy to separate. This doesn't happen often, but once in a while it does. And if I realize that what I want to separate is a lot, like this, I'm just going to use my scissors to separate it, thereby preventing pain from snapping. So no, it's not painful. Unlike braids or or cornrows, you don't feel the pain now. Well, that's relative from what I've learned from clients. I've had clients who will tell me like it used to be a very painful experience for them until they found me. So I think if you know how to use the crochet, it's not supposed to be painful. So I've shown that in a couple of live sections. I will show it again right now. And one thing to take note of always is that you need to use the perfect size of crochet. A lot of people don't know that this comes in different sizes. You have to use the right size. How to determine that, I'll say maybe by eyeballing it or experience. For me, if I use the crochet on your locks, so let's say I pick this one and I try to pull through, it's not going, is difficult, then I will know that that doesn't work. Okay, then I'll switch to either a smaller one. If what I notice is that your locks don't fit in the latch, I'll pick a bigger one. Or if the weight of your lock does not close the latch, I'll pick a smaller one. Let me demonstrate that shortly. Okay, see here. Hi Deb, how are you doing? Hope you're good. From here you see that there are different sizes. See the size. Okay, and see this. So you need to use the right size for each lock. This is the biggest size. So if I'm using this, maybe I'm having some traditional locks to retie. So using the wrong tool would make it painful. Thank you so much, Deb, for asking that question. That is super enlightening. Thank you so much. I'll show you how to properly use your crochet pin, how to know if you're using the right size. I've mentioned it before. The weight needs to be able to close this. The weight should close it naturally. So, and this is one of the tricks I used to be fast in doing reties. Once I pull it through the new growth, I'll put the locks in this. Just hook it in. See how it fits perfectly. If the weight is good, it's just gonna close it. Look at it again. See? There you have it. Now that cannot be painful. So that is my little trick. With that, I only focus on looping the hair in, not on closing the latch or even pulling through. Every other thing comes naturally once I get that done easily. Hi Ruth, thank you for joining today's live section and for saying hi. Hope you're doing good. How's been your day? do. Well done. Just greeting you, well done. Alright, we are getting towards the end, okay?
No worries.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining today's live section and for staying tuned with me. So, my name is Kemalise, and what I do on this channel is to show you different ways of caring for your natural hair, giving you options. Yeah, so you see content that has to do with braids or cornrows or twists and a lot of locks content because I'm a certified loctician. So today what we are doing is Microlocs Retie. This is a maintenance appointment for locks. She already has the locks. We installed these locks about 18 months ago. So our routine is, I think, every 7 weeks for reties. So you do that to make sure that your locks are being maintained properly, they don't thin out, and see how beautiful this particular locks. It's very uniform. And we're doing a 3-point rotation. I've shown how to do that earlier. In case you missed it, I will show it again, and you can feel free to watch the replay. It will be up in about 48 hours because it needs to be processed first before I could repost it. Okay, yeah, so coming up we'll do rotation, which is 3-point rotation. And if you have locks, one thing you need to know is your rotation. Okay, for different reasons, so that your locks are maintained uniformly. In case you have a reason to change your loctician, you'll be able to give them that vital information. And sometimes I have my clients come in and say, oh, Kemi, don't forget, we are doing 4-point rotation. And I'm going to be like, thank you, because if you see a lot of clients, it's possible to even forget what you're supposed to do for each lot. However, I kind of have a way of knowing what rotation I'm doing, or even when I have new clients, what rotations they've been having done on their locks. Now let's just go ahead and show you the 3-point rotation. I will zoom in a bit. Yeah, I think that's good. You need to know where the last rotation ended. It ended in this direction. That's why I could easily divide it into 2. So that means I have to go in the opposite direction to prevent damaging our locks. I showed what kind of damage you could cause by rotating in the same direction repeatedly. I would do a demo once again. So for the 3-point rotation, now this one ended in this direction. I see. So that means I'll go this way first. This is my 3 p.m. then my 6 p.m., 3 p.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 3 p.m. I don't have enough room to complete the rotation, so I will just end it in the direction I want it to fall, which is 6 p.m. I hope that was explanatory enough. You can let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to show that again. You can hit on the like button if you like what I just explained, and also you can subscribe if you're yet to join the community. Thank you. I see the likes and the loves flying all around. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Sorry, I did not realize I was still zoomed in. Daddy, where's the check and go?
Oh, I think you're talking to them.
Hi Tina, how are you doing today? I'm good, and you? Yeah, so I'm located in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And where are you located, if you don't mind me asking, Tina? Oh, hi. So that means you're in the United States. Not super far away, but far. Thank you for joining in today. Appreciate that. Do you have locks or you're planning to have locks? Let me take a guess. You have locks. Am I right? Okay, planning to get sister locks. Okay. Oh, that's super great. Yeah, it's great. Come and join the family. Sister locks is wow. So earlier I talked about sister locks, and I mentioned that on Saturday I'll be doing a video that shows how sister locks is being started from scratch to the end. So you might watch out for that. Just to, I know you would have done a lot of research and everything, but if you like, you could also take a peep into that. And It's it's a very interesting video actually. So just to prepare you, the client had 497 locks installed, and we started 6 a.m. ended 3 a.m. So 21 hours of of installation. Yeah, I love to, as much as possible, finish in a day because I might have had my calendar booked. Oh, thank you. You watch out for it. That's good to know. Thank you so much. Yeah, so that one took a bit, and it's because our hair is super long, like mid back long, and it was fun to do. Fun to do. Yeah. Yeah. It took a while. So, if you don't mind the unsolicited advice when you're going for your installation, go with things that you would need. Pack a lunch, maybe 2 snacks if you're the type that you you eat while making your hair. I know some people will just decide to declare a fast. Thank you so much. Thank you for the compliment. She said you are doing a lovely work. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you can go with your tablet. If you have internet, good. If not, download movies to keep you company before going, or you could take a book to read. You need water to hydrate yourself. What else? Yeah, and it's important to, if your loctician is not offering hair wash, it's good to wash your hair before you go with as little product as possible. Yeah, just ask all the questions you need to ask before your installation. Yeah, and I hope you keep us updated on the number of locks you finally get. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Tiana. Yeah, I'll look forward to that. And thank you for the subscription. It gladdens my heart. Thank you for the support. Yeah, so I'm sure it will all go well. Fingers crossed to go well. Do you have long hair, or and is your hair thick in comparison to the Retie's, the one I'm doing right now? Is your hair this long or this thick? Just to have some context. And would it be just one person installing for you or multiple people? Oh, in 4 minutes. Look forward to seeing more of your work. Blessings, love, and light. Thank you so much, Tiana. Enjoy yourself. Thank you for joining during your lunch break. I really appreciate that. Bye. Yeah, see you later. Bye. Yeah, we're almost done getting there. We have about maybe 100 locks to go. Hi, Pretty Walk. Thank you for joining us. And how are you doing? Hope you're good today. Thank you for the question. The question says that are those called sister locks? Ah, that's a great question. This is Microlocs because of the way we started was with twist, but size wise, number wise, it could be called sister locks. Is over almost 500 locks, but we started with twist about 18 months ago. They are becoming matured right now. Just a few of the tips are not yet matured, and that will give it away. Maybe we can see it. Oh, you cannot. Yeah, that would give it away that it's Microlocs. Thank you so much for the question. I hope I answered your question. Um, do you have locks currently? Pretty work. Just to strike a conversation. And if yes, what kind of locks do you have? And Pretty Work responded by saying, okay, Microlux, yeah, Microlux. Really, once they are matured, it's difficult to differentiate sincerely because they all just end up looking the same. Sister locks would also looks like this, except for the tips that is yet to matured. So, and you said you don't have locks right now, just your natural hair, but you're considering getting sister locks soon. Yeah, thank you for sharing. We look forward to having you join the community. See the way I'm recruiting for locks, and you think yeah, there's something to it. But yeah, locks kind of gives you the freedom in terms of waking up ready. My last live session on Saturday, my client was chatting with the people online like she doesn't own a comb anymore. She doesn't have a conditioner anymore. She has nothing. No more hair dryer or blow dryer or hair straightener and all those things, you know. So that freedom is there. However, if you like variety, you might end up with your natural hair for quite a bit. Not to say that you can actually still get braids over your locks once they are fully matured, but not all the time, just once in a while to spice things up or change things up a bit. Uh, Flex Diva said, how long does it take to retire a full head? Great question. So anywhere from micro locks or sister locks, Now I'm saying that in the context of tiny locks, locks that are above 200, you spend anywhere from, for me, I spend anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours max, 4 hours being the worst case scenario. And for the time, you need to consider the number of locks, when the last retie was, because if you take longer between your locks to retie, be ready to spend more time. And another thing to consider is how fast your hair grows. If your hair grows like super fast, there'll be more to retie during your appointment, so that could also add to the retie time. Another thing to consider is the lock length. As your locks begin to get longer, they take more time to retie because we are pulling through the entire length, and that adds some seconds to the retie time. So basically for me, 2 to 4 hours, but nonetheless, I've had people tell me they had their retie done for 8 hours, 10 hours, but they had to break it down into days for them. So it also depends on your loctician speed. I hope I answered that question. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Flediva. And thank you, Pretty Walk. Yu Hong said hi. Hello, Yu Hong. How are you doing? Hope you're good. And just to add some context to it, we have almost 500 locks here. And I think we've been at it for about 2.5 hours. Yeah, I know, right? So the way it works is it depends on the lock size you want. So let's say you go for a lock consultation. That's what I do before I start your locks. I want to know what your goals are for your locks. For example, you mentioned you like to do sister locks. I could do a consultation, look at your hair and say, you know what, let's start with Microlocs because of ABCD. So that is there. And most people, when they want to start locks, you're already following people that either do locks or people that have locks. So one way or the other, you have inspiration for your locks, what you want your locks to look like, or maybe it's just for the size, how big you want it to look, and all that. So for some people, if they have that already, I'll tell you to show me a picture of what you want your locks to look like. Bear in mind that no two locks will end up looking the same, but however, from what you show me, I could pick out the sizing of the locks, if that's what interests you. For some people, what they like is the grid pattern or how fluffy or stiff the lock is. So I'll get to know what you like. So let's say you had shown me a lock and you said, I like the way the size is, and you have very full head. I will tell you that, okay, if you are doing that size with your hair, I think we'll have about 400 locks, about 500 locks. Then you could tell me, no, I want just 300 locks. Then I'll tell you, okay, then we have to change the size. So that's how people arrive at the number of locks they have. If your hair is super full, super thick, your locks, when they grow, they'll be thick. So if you don't want it to be big and chunky, then we have to go a size lower. And mind you, this is not the tiniest size of locks, of micro locks or sister locks. Sister locks have way tinier locks than this. I had a client, we installed 762 locks on her head. No, she has very full, thick hair. Yeah, and it's the same size, but it came to a lot of locks for her. For your sister locks, like how many locks do you think you would be comfortable with? 200, 300, 400, or 500 plus? I think I'll make that into a pool. Okay, I'm going for a consultation. Before I read that, hi Jelind, thank you for joining today. My name is Kenlis, and on this channel, I bring to you all things natural hair related. Today, we are doing Microlocs Retie. Okay, and Flight Diva says that I'm going for a consultation on, oh, that's about 6 days from now, next week. Great. I wanted the size I see your client has, but 500 is a bit more than I want. I've been natural for 15 years, so I have a lot of length. I can't do 500, it was taking me 25. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, 15 years is a long, long time. Whoa, I can imagine you should have length. Is your hair this long? It touches our neck. I think this camera angle is wrong. Yeah, that's better. It touches our back here. So, and do you think your hair is this full? If it's this full, our hair is really full though. I have people who have just 300 locks, 320. Yeah, you could still get the size and have 320, 340 if your hair is not super, super thick. Because in getting the size, it's not really about the size they cut at the root. It's about the amount of hair that will be joined together to give you this size. So if your hair is not thick, they could cut this same size and get you 300. So yeah, the connotation is the way to go, my sister. Are you in the United States? I'm just assuming. I'm in Canada. Okay, USA. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure your consultation will go well. Just kind of um, an advice I could give is that if you find locks that you like, go with the picture. It will help your loctician to know what you want. And no question is not valid. So ask all your questions. Ask all your questions and keep an open mind. Hopefully, if you have opportunity to join another live section or to watch any of my videos, you could drop a comment to let us know how that went and when you finally get the locks installed. Oh, thank you so much. I would love to hear back from you. I look forward to that. Yeah, and that's the best thing to do. Take screenshots of locks you like, and even if you find maybe videos of those locks, like I know some people kind of do channels where they show their locks journey. If you find one of that you like, you could also show it to your loctician. I would just say be open-minded in the techniques you might have to use to start your locks, because it depends on a few things for her to make a decision. And you said, yeah, I've been watching a lot of Lux video. I can only imagine it's a major decision and a major investment too. So you're doing everything right. You need to watch all those videos just to be informed. And it will help you know if the information you are being given during your consultation is correct or not. Yeah, I've had clients come and they've been to maybe 2 or 3 places before they come for a consultation with me, and then they say something like, oh, I knew when I heard that it wasn't right, and that's because they've taken time to gather knowledge regarding the next journey in their hair journey. Yeah. See you later. It's been fun. Oh, thank you. I hate to see you go, but thank you for joining in today and for interacting with me. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. Okay, see you later. Bye. Retie, bye. Thank you so much. All right, people, we are getting to the finish line. I think we have 3 more rows to go. Thank you to everyone who has joined today. If you've not already, click on the subscribe button. Do so and make sure to turn on your notification button so that you're aware when I come with more live sections for you. And on this channel, I show you all things related to hair care for natural hair, from doing braids to cornrows, twists, and of course the almighty locks. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Mute. Okay, guys, thank you. We've come to the end of the retie. Now I just need to hydrate locks and put in moisture. I like to use my oil. Hi, Victoria. Thank you for joining us. We are at the end of today's retie section. Uh, the replay will be available by tomorrow or latest day after tomorrow. And there are a lot of things we talked about: microlocs, how to retire, how to start, a lot of questions there. Okay, that's the end of everything.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.